So here I am in New York State, and I am at the Gathering of Friends. Yeah, little old me at the Gathering of Friends. Seems like a pretty cool thing to be, but as you can see, the weather is not entirely nice. I mean, it's kind of overcast, and it's, yeah, you know, but hey, who cares about weather? We're here to play some games, right? So let's head in, and we'll see what's going on. And first things first, you see a bunch of tables set up over here, and then over here you have a whole bunch of other people that are playing games over there. And then there's a little announcement board for people to keep in touch with each other throughout the course of the game. And here you have the registration table where Alan is usually at, but he's not been here very much. And just the entire scope of the gathering is pretty much right here. Have people all over this room playing. People bring in their collections and set them on the side, around the outside of the room, as you can see. And if you want to play one of the games, you just grab them, play it, and return it. So it's a really cool buddy system, honor system that's going on here. So it's really neat. We're about to go play Yamatai.
I already did this on my video log.
Of course you did, because you steal all my good ideas.
No.
So we're going to play Yamatai with Z and Mike. Hi, Mike.
Nice to meet you.
I just met Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Hi.
So you are not a first-timer like me?
No, I'm a fourth-timer.
Fourth-timer?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Z is a two-timer.
I've heard that.
Two-timing, I think is what people typically call
No,
it.
you're a two-timer.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just finished a game of Yamatai with Mr. Z Garcia teaching us, and Mr. Rick Van Horn from Geek and Zen. What are your final thoughts on this game, sir?
I think it starts slow and builds, and there's an interesting dynamic in the way you're placing the ships, and the way you have a choice of getting more characters like these guys, or getting more buildings put on the board.
Yeah.
The building strategy for me ended up being pretty good, so like I said, I like the game. I'd give it a solid 7.5.
7.5. All right, Mr. Young, do you mind?
Sure.
All right, what are your final thoughts, Mr. Mike Young from Virginia?
It's fun. It's balanced. What other people do affects you, and what you do affects other people. There are many different paths to victory. I like it.
All right, very cool. And Mr. Z Garcia,
Cleaning up the game.
voice of the people.
Yapping. I really like it. I think it's got a really good balance that works for me between tactics, what people do on a turn-to-turn basis will affect you. You have to react to those things, and then long-term strategy. It's got a good mixture of both. You want to pick something to run with, try to pursue that thing, and then stay flexible enough where you can react to a bad situation.
Very cool. So I'll give you one last look of the board. And I'll have to say that, yeah, I did enjoy it. It's got that Days of Wonder pop that they just knock it out of the park every single time. Kathala at the helm as far as that's concerned. Designing the game just has a lot of cool things. Has a couple of small world mechanisms that are a little bit of a carryover, but they provide familiarity. Definitely going to have to play this again, but initial impressions are, I really enjoy it. This is the hallway that leads down to our room in our hotel. And when Z and I first came down this hallway, it was like we were waiting for two little girls on tricycles come around the corner. It is just way too much like The Shining, but wanted to share that with you. And as I said before, the Gathering of Friends is a convention where people bring in their collections in order to play with other people throughout the course of the week. So this is just a real quick look at some of the games that were at our disposal. This is Tom Basil. He's showing off a prototype, which is really kind of hypocritical because Tom doesn't like to play people's prototypes, but here he's making people play a prototype.
Playing a prototype from some unknown poor designer, you know.
Wednesday morning, I think, and I haven't been doing a whole lot of videoing because, quite frankly, I've been playing games and talking with people and basically just having a relaxing time. But I'm going to go ahead and get back to work. All right, so we just finished playing Nova Cry from World Within Games, and we are going to share our final thoughts here. Myself and Brian are, at least. Let me go ahead. All right, so Brian, from Grand Con fame, go ahead and give a plug for Grand Con as well. I mean,
yes,
might as
Grand
well.
Con coming to you September 15th through 17th, 2017.
Yes. Shameless plug. All right, so what do you think about Nova Cry?
I enjoyed it. It is for first time through a little fiddly with some things, but it felt like there was a decent balance amongst players. We had 5 players. The tension was good. Along with that, you know, I enjoyed the interaction of the way the captains were designed with the alien crew, with the types of ships. Although I had a very peaceful ship and everybody else was very aggressive. But overall, a decent experience. I'd have to play it maybe a couple more times to really give it an absolute final thought, but it is something I would try again.
Cool. Yeah, I think this is my second time playing the game, and I really do enjoy the theme that's wrapped around it. I really like all of the different things. Now, most of the time when you're determining what happens to you, you just roll a die, and that's kind of boring. But the things that can happen to you are interesting. So there is that. It has some pretty decent components. The artwork is good. So I think it's a decent game. I got to stew on it a little bit more just to find out exactly how much I like it or not. So that's coming in the review. Talk to you later. All right, so now I'm just going to go over here to this other table where these guys are sitting down.
Gen Con's way later this year.
Yeah. After Dice Tower.
And we're going to be playing Exit
Of September. He might come.
the Secret Lab. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we'll get back to you in a few minutes.
That's good.
All right, so we have... Show us the time once again, time captain.
Time is...
We did it under an hour, which we were supposed to have done.
I'll show the table.
So I'm not showing the table, I'm showing faces.
I'm kind of smart.
You're smart.
I know numbers and things.
All right.
Hey, the main clue was solved by Sam Healey when no one else
was
got
not.
it.
Oh,
Yes.
good job, Sam.
No.
Good job, Sam.
MVP.
MVP. There you go.
Violent person.
Most violent player, yes.
All right. Well,
We used 2 help cards. Technically,
they did give me a pair of these at the beginning of the game, so
Oh, yes.
I guess
Yes.
maybe that helps.
We have
Kept him
earned
entertained.
Yes.
8 stars.
Oh, 8 stars.
So anyway, we beat the escape room in the time allotted.
That's right.
Signing off. And now, we are headed over to play The Godfather by Eric Lang. Very interesting. And our teacher, Mr. Colin Young.
Hello, hello.
And to make sure that we don't get totally out of control, Mr. David Preti.
You need an Italian at the table.
Yes, of course. No game of The Godfather would be complete without one yet. Hey, so I'm back up in the room now, and I just finished that game of The Godfather with David Preti and Brian and Fabio. And it was a pretty fun game. The only thing is that because I think it was a learning game, it had a lot of downtime to it because we were thinking a lot about what we were going to do. But I think that's one of the kinds of downtime that goes away with the more times that you play the game. So with that being said, I really enjoyed it. I don't think downtime is going to be as much of a problem with more plays, but I really enjoyed it. It's highly thematic. It's very cutthroat, which is kind of necessary for a game with that theme on it. And I think it's just a game that a lot of people are going to enjoy. Go give it a shot. As always, try before you buy. But let's get to the rest of this thing.
So here we are at Snakes and Lattes, and as you look around, it goes back for a while there. A little bit of a bar there where you can get drinks and snacks and all that kind of stuff. And here's a smaller part of the actual bar, or not the bar, but where you can buy games and so forth and so on. Time Stories, Ticket to Ride, Real Party, XCOM. A whole bunch of really good stuff in there as well. Nice wide open space. Here's a bunch of the games that are for playing. You just take them off the shelf. You grab them. They're all organized by categories. Light strategy, miscellaneous, new arrivals. Some new arrivals there. Cost half. We just did that on Miami Vice. So So we are sitting here playing Wasteland Express delivery service, and yes, it is exactly what it sounds like. It is a pick up and deliver game with a post-apocalyptic theme slathered onto it. So here we go. We're going to be talking about our mid-game impressions. So first off, give us your name and your thoughts.
My name's Michael. My thoughts are, it's taken me a few turns just to get into the swing of things, but there's a lot of options in what I can do, and John's sort of coaching me through it. So, but I'm having a great time.
Oh yeah, by the way, Mr. Gilmore is here, so everything is going to be tame that we say about the game, or maybe not.
So I'm Ziggy. I like it. It's a nice little engine builder. Really like the art in this one. It's interesting. Yeah, a lot of fun moments in it.
All right. Now, Mr. Gilmore.
Yes.
You said that this was not originally a post-apocalyptic theme. What theme was it? Pray tell.
Originally, the theme was Space Vikings.
Space Vikings.
Yes, Matt and Ben had that theme on it, and it didn't quite click.
I wonder why.
It was really original and a really impressive endeavor, but
or maybe it should have been Vikings in space.
Yes.
All right, here we go. So we're going to continue our game and come back with maybe some final thoughts later on. Bye. All right, so here we are at the post-game interviews for Wasteland Express delivery service. And our esteemed colleague Michael is the victor of the Wasteland. So let's go with you first. What are your post-game thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I can see that there are a lot of options and sort of the actions you can take and the routes that you can go to victory. So I think there's going to be a lot of replayability. So I'm excited to play it again in the future.
All right, and Ziggy came in a very close second, I believe. So what were your post-game?
I like that it changes. You have to change the strategy all the time. It's just, yeah, you just got to play with what's at the board. And I mean, I had a plan going forward, and then halfway through I decided I was going to go a completely different way, and it totally panned out for me.
Okay, so, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so my final thoughts is quite simply that it's very fun, and which is strange for a pick up and deliver game for me. I think it's the theme that did it for me, which again is kind of strange because I'm not always on the whole post-apocalyptic thing. So it's fun. There's a lot to grok at the beginning of the game, but it all pans out a couple of rounds in, so that's really cool as well. Multiple paths to victory is always cool. So, thumbs up from me as well. Now, Mr. Gilmore.
Yes.
Your final post-game thoughts. How did we do?
You guys did good. I tried not to lead you in any strategies. I'll let you guys discover, some of the things about the game yourself. You definitely noticed later on that there's a different way you could have approached that strategy you're working on. So that's one of the things that we really wanted to do with it was give players a really nice structure to try to discover and build up their own experience.
Okay, so here we are with Nut. This is one of the tackle games from Pack 2, and this guy goes in here like this, and so Nut is what we're going to play. We're actually going to be playing a 2-player game. Z is going to teach us a 3-player game, and so give us a brief rundown of what Nut is.
Okay, so it's a set connecting game is what they're calling, in which you are going to be collecting these cards, putting them together, trying to make clusters of the different colored nuts. You'll be scoring the largest cluster in each. Score every color. Most points is the winner of the game. That's it. Nice and straightforward.
So it's a nut collection game played by a couple nuts.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll get back to you. Okay, so we finished Nut, and basically, as you can see here, we scored each color. So, for example, my reds here were my highest scoring color, and I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nuts with a doubler for the squirrel. So my reds got me 10 points, and then I got 2 points for my yellow, and let's see what else. 2 points for my purple here, and 1 point for my greens because I didn't have any clusters, so forth and so on. So I came up with a total of 17. What do you think, my man?
This is nice. It's got a great visual appeal to it. It looks good on the table. It's a little thinky, but not too thinky. I like the tiles. I like the idea of the tile fitting up against some tiles this way, trunk to trunk, or sky to sky. So it's not, you can't really flip it anytime you want to, and that's interesting. I like the doubler of the squirrel. That's a nice touch. And the wild nuts are a little bit tricky because they're flanked by 2 empty spaces. So you kind of have to be careful when you take those. They're not an automatic grab, and I like that as well. This is nice. Again, it looks good on the table. Simple, quick. I enjoy it.
Yeah, the drafting mechanism where you actually take these cards from the center of the table and add them to, like for example, if it's Z's turn,
I would take,
he would take, and then I would take, and then our third player would take as well. So that's a cool drafting mechanism as well. So it's a neat little game, one that of course fits well in all of the different things. Squirrels. Anyway, that is Nuts from the Pack-O-Game Series 2 from Perplexed Games. So go check it out. We are half asleep. We are at the Niagara Falls International Airport, which, by the way, is a surprising thing. The Niagara Falls has an international airport.
That is called the International Airport. It's quite small, folks.
It has.
You can't see it. We're not really going to do a pan, I think, but it's small.
It has a whopping 4 gates.
4 gates.
Yeah, and it's an international airport.
Yes, it is.
So, Thomas, final thoughts on The Gathering 2017.
Obviously, we're very tired right now.
Yes.
But it was good. We got to see, the thing about this one is we got to see a ton of games we can't even talk about right now.
Right.
But we'll be able to talk about them as time goes by. So I guess, those early looks will help us in the future. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Saw a lot of cool games. Got to talk to a lot of people. It was really fun. It was exhausting, yet relaxing at the same time. We didn't have a lot of agenda, but we spent our time and did a lot of things.
Kevin?
I guess for me, yeah, there's a lot of gaming mainly that happens here. It's like, it's like a lot of hanging out with people you don't get to see a lot, whatever. It's very relaxed also, and then a lot of gaming, and then some of the sightseeing stuff. So all those 3 things kind of wrapped into each other. It gives you a feeling that I don't really find at any other convention. All 3 of those things. Hanging out with people in a relaxed manner, right? Not meetings, playing some games, and then you can walk a few minutes. You're checking out Niagara Falls. A wonder of the world. That's impressive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really like the vibe here. But Tom's right. It's tiring. Because you want to keep doing it. You know. So we're done.
Yes, we are.
Good to go. Good to go home.
We are done. Thank you very much for that. And with that, I am signing off. My final thoughts are quite simply, yeah, it was fun, but it was long. It was a week, and it's a lot of stuff to do. And even though we were here for a very long time, there wasn't a whole lot of time to get everything done that you wanted to do. This is a
Eurocentric convention as well. So if you're a Amerithrasher, you're probably not missing a whole lot. But I did play one kind of cool Amerithrashy style, really theme-heavy game that was really cool, and I'm going to be looking very forward to telling you guys about it later on. But all in all, this was a fun trip. The people are great, nice, welcoming, except for one guy. But I'm over it. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.